Everyone's wondering, is XOMG Pop over? Is the cruise canceled? Is Brooklyn going to show for the rest of the tour? And why, when, and how long will JoJo be with the tour?
JoJo and Jesselyn have exposed these children, not paid them for their work, and for some reason, these videos aren't getting like millions of views. I don't understand why.
JoJo Siwa is slowly destroying the lives of the X OMG Pop members, and the group is falling apart all because of her. From forcing them to go on tour and making them stay under extremely poor conditions, to even going as far as canceling certain shows after fans have already paid and offering them no notice or apology whatsoever. Y'all, join me today as we look at why many people are of the opinion JoJo Siwa needs to be stopped before it's too late.
Personally, this whole XOMG Pop situation needs to be talked about so much more than it's being talked about.
Now, JoJo is no stranger to controversy. It's like a fact at this point. Every other week, it seems like there is something new up with JoJo. However, over the past couple of months, JoJo's group, X OMG Pop, seems to be involved in more and more drama, and it's all because of JoJo and her mom. Loves, the group recently announced that they would be going on their first ever live tour all over the US, and fans were overjoyed by the announcement.
Welcome to the X OMG Pop podcast. We are X OMG Pop, and we are so excited to finally announce this.
Don't say it yet.
No, I'm not gonna say it again. We all have to say it together. Okay, are you guys ready to say it together? Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're going on tour!
Given the year that X OMG Pop has had with all the drama, a tour would have been a nice and refreshing break for the girls. Now, it's not lost on anyone that these girls from X OMG are really young and have never undertaken anything like this before in their careers. So naturally, regarding the planning and logistics, it would all fall on the Siwas since they created the group and they manage it. But in true Siwa fashion, the tour has quickly turned into a disaster. Their first show was a complete flop with barely any fans showing up, and those who did weren't very enthusiastic or vocal. Now, the reason for the low turnout has been attributed by many to the fact that neither JoJo nor her mother have particularly gone out of their way to try and promote the tour. As a matter of fact, JoJo hasn't even once posted about the group's tour or even mentioned them ever since they announced that they would be going on tour. Rumor even has it that JoJo is growing tired of spending money on the group because they have never been profitable. Now, besides the first show being a disaster, there seemed to be more going on behind the scenes than people first thought. After the first show, pictures of the living conditions of the girls while on tour started going viral, and this had a lot of people concerned. First of all, the girls are forced into tiny and cramped tour buses with horrible amenities. Pictures even show two of the girls squeezed together on a seat trying to get some sleep. To make it worse, while the girls were forced to sleep on a tiny bus, JoJo Siwa was busy jet setting all the way to London and back, while it's reported that her mom wasn't on the bus with the girls. Most likely, while the girls were struggling to share a seat to sleep on the bus, she was probably in some fancy hotel somewhere ordering room service.
JoJo and Jess Siwa have their girl group members looking like refugees from a natural disaster sleeping on a teeny tiny little tour bus, which in all fairness is not quite as small as this, but is much smaller than one might expect for a cross-country tour. Though it is decorated with 1, 2, 3 pieces of paper, do you think she'll be on the bus or do you think she'll be flying from show to show? Given that she usually did not travel with the group and has been known to stay at much more expensive hotels than the group stays at. Now, JoJo has not said one thing to the group on social media. She was too busy posting about her friend Tyler, whom, I don't know, is he less famous than XOMG Pop?
Anyways, the X OMG Pop tour drama doesn't end there. In fact, it only gets worse. Though X OMG Pop hasn't been pulling in the biggest crowds to its tour, there has been a group of loyal and dedicated fans who have been showing up to their shows. And now the Siwas have somehow found a way to piss off those fans too. Many people have reported that in certain cities, the Siwas canceled the shows without offering any form of notice or explanation. People have turned up to the venues only to be told the show was canceled. And on the X OMG socials, nothing has been addressed, and the group has continued to promote its other shows without offering any form of apology or explanation. Just take a look at these comments from some frustrated fans. Any reason why we haven't heard an apology or any sort of statement as to why your concerts were canceled? We were left with little notice and no explanation as to why they were canceled. Whatever reason this Philly show is canceled is not okay. We were one of the first people to buy tickets back in December, and I have some very disappointed kiddos right now. We made a trip to Philly just for this concert. We are so disappointed. For all those who are traveling for future shows, be mindful. $500+ down the drain. First the cruise and now the concert. My daughter is devastated. You need to make some kind of statement on this. This is messed up. This tour was canceled suddenly mid-tour without the Siwas saying a word to all the people who paid for tickets or any explanation or acknowledgement whatsoever. They canceled the cruise at the same time. Then to top it off, at JoJo Siwa started posting all of this melodramatic stuff today to try and distract from how they've yet again harmed these girls. I think it's time for a follow-up article. I hate to break it to you, but I believe XOMG Pop is done. They have canceled all but 2 of the tour dates and canceled the cruise within a day. No explanation for the angry parents who had to travel out of the way for the tour today and have to break the news to the little kids who wanted to see them perform. Something is going on, and it's fishy that the Siwas aren't saying anything about it. It's sad because now XOMG Pop won't exist anymore because they probably want to focus on JoJo's career, if that's what we call it anymore these days. I grew up listening to JoJo and her music, and yes, she is 21 now and she can make her own decisions on releasing music and dressing the way she dresses. However, I believe it's been taken too far. These poor girls worked their butts off to perform at these tour dates just for all of them to be canceled. Hoping an explanation comes out soon because nothing good can come out of this.
Kids are back on the tiny bus traveling. Note the luggage stacked on the rear seat, but they need everybody to know that they have a very nice hotel for their day off with a full kitchen, a living room, and a bedroom. I know what brand that hotel that is because I've stayed in one of those myself.
Y'all, as if it wasn't evident by now, something is completely wrong at XOMG Pop, and it's all because of the Siwas. When the tour first began, only 3 out of the 4 members actually went on tour. The 4th member, Brooklyn Pitts, chose not to join the group for personal reasons.
Our girl Brooklyn is nowhere to be found, and apparently she's missing the first 6 shows. So she's missing most of the tour because there's not that many shows, and the fans are mad because they paid to see 4 members. And of course, JoJo Siwa, who manages this group, has not spoken out about why she's missing these shows. But fans are speculating that Brooklyn has left XOMG Pop, and I think she's left. I don't think she's going to any show.
Now, this is far from the first time members have mysteriously dropped off from XOMG. The group that was first formed in 2021 initially had 7 members, and now that number is just down to 4. Each time a member drops out of the group, the Siwas offer no form of explanation and just quietly remove their faces from the group's merch. The only person to truly ever talk about her time at XOMG was Leia, and what she had to say was extremely shocking. Leia revealed that life in XOMG Pop is a complete nightmare. Ever since her first day on JoJo's show, Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution, things were completely awful. Y'all remember when Leia and her mom had to come out and expose the Siwas, alleging that JoJo and her mom subjected the girls to grueling rehearsals and little pay, and they were even forced to fall behind on their schoolwork since they had no time for anything else since JoJo and her mom demanded a lot from them. Loves, Leia claims that she was forced to work under some serious physical stress, that at one point JoJo's mom basically told her to go for a video shoot just weeks after she underwent spinal cord surgery. To make things worse, days before Leia went in for her surgery, the group was performing at the Children's and Family Emmys that JoJo was hosting, and Leia started bleeding through her belly button during rehearsals. And instead of asking her to take a break so she could get some medical assistance, basically Jess believes in tough love and pushing XOMG members to the extreme limit without any remorse. According to people who worked on Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution, Jess's goal for even coming up with the group was because she believed she could make an entire new generation of stars just like she did with JoJo.
Hearing and seeing everything that these 2 have put the XOMG Pop girls through is crazy and so sad. Especially when you rewatch Dance Moms and you see how bad JoJo was truly treated, and the fact that she acts like Abby now is crazy. Like, To get on the team, the girls had to talk about everything they didn't like about JoJo. JoJo was constantly left out and made fun of, and Abby did not treat her like an actual part of the team when she rejected hugs from Nia, JoJo, and Kalani, but hugged everyone else. Like, come on. Genuinely, how are you gonna go through all of that on national television? Like, there's a record of it. We've all seen it. How are you gonna do that and then turn out the same way? How are you gonna make these girls feel so bad and invalidate them and ruin their dance experience the way yours was as well?
Now, JoJo, on the other hand, is way worse. She was nasty and basically a dictator. It was basically her way or nothing. It's alleged that JoJo used to hurl insults at XOMG members during performances, and apparently she created a toxic and cutthroat environment even after all of the cameras were turned off. Y'all, one time while XOMG was performing at the Mall of America, JoJo could be heard shouting insults at the girls through their headsets, telling them that they all suck. JoJo would even go as far as pinning the girls against each other. During multiple instances, JoJo made the girls dance one at a time in front of each other, and she would then force the others watching to criticize the dancer. And let me tell you, this wasn't like constructive criticism or anything. JoJo was allegedly forcing these girls to say the meanest and rudest things to each other. JoJo even took pride in making XOMG members push their limits, and the way she allegedly achieved this was quite shocking. Loves, JoJo would allegedly crank up the heat completely while the group did their rehearsals and forced them to continue training until they almost passed out. Rolling Stone spoke to a couple of sources involving the making of JoJo Siwa's reality show, and they reviewed contracts, texts, and emails. And turns out the consensus is that JoJo and her mom lied to Leia and other members of X OMG Pop, promising them this path to success only to turn around and exploit them just so they could get a show out of them. Under the supervision of the Siwas, the producers of the show reportedly used to manipulate the cast of the show for the sake of maximizing drama, and remember, the people they were manipulating were just kids. One was even as young as 8 years old. To make matters worse, allegedly in one deleted scene from the show, during an elimination stage, the producers made the girls who were eliminated stand in front of a mirror and watch themselves cry and get upset so that their exit interview could be better for the show. Y'all, JoJo and her mom created a very toxic environment that allegedly a producer was heard saying, "It's not a good day unless you make a kid cry." Ugh. Loves. Things in X OMG Pop are so bad that last year a petition to shut down the group was started. The founder of the petition even wrote a lengthy reason for starting the petition, saying, JoJo Siwa and her mom Jessalyn formed X OMG Pop on August 6th, 2021. They were a huge success since, but over a year later, Kaya was suddenly dismembered from the group. In spite of the constant comments and questions on Instagram posts asking why Kaya left the group, the Siwas went quiet. A year later, Leia left, and again, no explanation. 3 months later, Bella and Kinley left. Again, no explanation. They're basically pretending that said members were never there to begin with. And now they're getting new members. You know what, smiling Siwas? Enough is enough. It's time to humble up. Just simply adding new members just to replace the old ones is not a solution. Your fans that have been with you from day one see these things and they see something is amiss, and they start to ask questions. And when those questions don't get answered, your fans get frustrated. You can't blow off your fans like that and expect them to keep supporting you. No one is going to perpetrate your bad choices forever. It's time to step up and take accountability for your actions. You need to give the public an honest explanation why Kaya, Leia, Bella, and Kinley left X OMG Pop or disband the group. That's your choice. Failure is not an option. No excuses, only solutions. Speak up or split up. Loves. It is evident that the Siwas have been making controversial decisions when it comes to X OMG Pop, and they are offering no form of explanation whatsoever. It has gotten to the point where now they are even affecting X OMG Pop fans who spend their money only for the Siwas to cancel shows, offer no explanation, and simply carry on like nothing has happened. And people have gotten tired of this and want to see the Siwas removed from X OMG. Do y'all agree with this? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out my other videos to ensure you're up to date with all the latest tea. Till next time, bye love!